Hey, it's Larry back again. World's Panasonic. Going to talk to you today about my Technics SE-A5MK2 power amplifier, which I bought about February of '89 from J&R Music World, New York. Back then was no internet, so I couldn't really search and find other places, but this amplifier was $649, and then the shipping, even back then, the shipping was like $32, $35, so it came like $682. It's 150 watt per channel, Class A. It's a really good amplifier. It sounds really good. I've had it since new, and it looks brand new. I mean, if you could see it, it just looks like the day I bought it. Like all my equipment, really, that I bought. Now, if I bought used stuff, it's not going to be taken good care as what I would. I'm very particular about my stuff and how I take care of it, but it looks just like brand new. And I had it, of course, last year when I upgraded to the SER1, which is also 150 watt per channel. I set it down here in the bottom shelf. I used to think it looked big, but now that I look at my other amp, it kind of looks small. But now the thing about this amp was this was not the amp that I wanted. This was the second down from the top of the line. At the top of the line, the Big Daddy, was the SE-A5MK2. This was a monster amp. It was like 86 pounds. I think this one weighs maybe not quite 40 pounds on this one. But if you notice on this one, the meters go to 300 watt. It's 150 watt per channel. But on the big amp, they went to 1,000 watts. And it was 300 watt per channel, but it would peak 1,500 watt per channel. And it had a 4-stage Darlington output. It was state-of-the-art for the time. It was probably one of the best amps you could get. And I actually bought it. And if I ain't mistaken, I believe it was $1,300 and some dollars at the time for it. And but unfortunately, J&R contacted me and said that they couldn't get any more. They weren't available in the U.S. anymore, so I just stepped down and got this one. Now, unfortunately, back then there was no internet, so I couldn't go searching hardly to find. I didn't even try really to try other places, but there was options that I might have found one if I looked around, but I didn't know about Lee Hartman's in Roanoke at the time. And then there was also a place that it was in North Carolina that I bought an integrated amplifier from one time called World's Panasonic, and that's kind of where I got my name from. And it was a store that only sold Panasonic and Technics. There was nothing else. And I went there and bought an integrated amp one time. Maybe I had contacted one of those. They may have had that amplifier. But over the years, I've searched for one of those. I've always wanted one. And matter of fact, I think it was in 2008, 2009, or maybe 2007, somewhere around there, I found one. And it was in Northern Virginia. And the guy, he said he had the original box. It's in mint condition. And he only wanted $1,500 for it. Well, the problem was, at the same time, my TV had went bad, and I was wanting to buy a new TV. New TV was going to run me about $1,500 and some dollars for a 50-inch plasma. Well, I told him, I said I would buy it, but I think I'll hold off. I didn't have any idea what was going to happen with those amps and how expensive they were going to get. So I didn't buy it. And I don't know how much time went by before I decided to start looking for one again, but they have jumped up to like $7,000 on eBay for one of those. And every time I found one, which I didn't have, I'd had to borrow the money to buy it, but they were always usually in another country, and I just never could find one, and that's when I discovered the SER1, which I figured, well, probably never going to get one of those, so I decided to upgrade to the SER1. But like I said, this is a good amplifier. I had no issues with it. I mean, it sounded good. It's just I was thought, let's get something a little new, just see what the new technology offers. And but I'll keep this amp. Uh, like I said, some of this stuff, I guess when I die, it'll be here. I don't plan on selling it or anything like that. It's just been so much a big part of my life. I've had it for so long. And who knows, something was to happen to the other amp, and hope it never does. You got a backup also. But I guess that's about it. This amp matches up real well with the SU-A200 preamp. And I've never done anything to it. Like I said, the lights, even the bulbs has never burned out. And it's getting on up there in years, So I guess that's about it for this video. Comment, subscribe. If you have one or anything similar, maybe you've got a Technics amp, you'd like to talk about. But I'll be back again in the next video. I will be probably discussing my Panasonic 2012 VT50 3D plasma, which was, as I've often told people, AV forums back then, which they still do TV reviews now. They did a review of that TV, and they said it was reference status. So I'm pretty happy about that, because when I look at the new TVs, the reviews on the new TVs, they just mostly get highly recommended. So I'll be talking a little bit about my TV and what it does and all that. So until then, rediscover music with Technics.